Y'all already know what it is. MusicIAmTv. First and foremost, good brother, it's a blessing to have you here. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a blessing. I want to let everybody know you're a good brother. You're about your business. So let them know your name and who you are.
It's the Masta Q that is. And I come out of Deltona, Florida, you dig? I was originally born in Long Island, New York, and that's where I began my early life. And I moved down to Deltona as a child. That's where I was raised.
Master Q, man. So how did you find out about MusicIAmTv?
It's a blessing to be here, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? I just love networking, man, and on that note, on the real, my boy Six Track, you know what I'm saying? You know, he put me on you know, and shouts out to my boy Six Track, yeah, and you know, that's when I got into contact with you, feel me? So we made it happen. It's all about the network, you dig?
What's the vibe? What's the vibe on MusicIAmTv?
The vibes is real, authentic. You know what I mean? It's no bullshit. You know what I mean? The vibes is real.
Oh, he didn't get paid to say that.
Yo.
He didn't get paid to say that.
On the real, no, on the real.
This is him on his own. Now, besides that, let's get into questions, because I got some questions for you, man. How long you been doing music? Mr. Q? Because I know you do music. I know you've done performances, you've done so much. You like I said, you got a lot of history in the hip hop culture, you know? So how long you been doing music?
Word up, I've been doing music professionally for 4 years, you know. I've been writing music my whole life, but when I decided to take it seriously was when I got out of the service. After I served 3 years as airborne infantryman in the U.S. Army. In 2016, I began pushing tracks. I began doing shows, and I began going to studios, and you know, I began putting out the content. That's where it all first began, and it started. From there, you know, I just never stopped, and I'm not going to stop. Just like my double album, Never Give Up, you know. That's a motive that I believe in, and that's what I live by. So I've been doing music for 4 years.
Okay. Now, what really gave you the motivation to do your music?
Word. On the real, you know, I always looked up to Michael Jackson because, you know, he's the greatest, you know, and Nas because, you know, that's my favorite rapper of all time. And I always knew that, you know, the type of person that I was, and you know how entertaining that I would be, just as a character, and being charismatic, and you know, I was gonna be somebody. And I always wrote raps, you know what I'm saying? And I remember me and my boy and spitting in high school and all of that, and I just knew I was gonna do it. So, you know, when I was going through my unfortunate, you know, difficulties in the military, you know, I got injured, you know what I'm saying? I went through some unfortunate difficulties, and you know, I used those difficult, rough times to enlighten me and to build me and strengthen me. And I said, you know, I want to do music. I said, you know, I've always been doing music my whole life, so I said, I'm gonna really do this music. Right. You know?
Music was like a way out.
That was right. Yeah. I was going through some times, and music was really a good outlet for me. It really helped me. And you know, my boy, I will never forget, you know, I was in Alaska. This was 2015, before I got home, you know, back to Deltona out of the military. And yeah, you know, I got on a track with him. So it was like November 2015. That was the first track that was ever dropped on SoundCloud. It wasn't mine, you know, I just did a little feature with him.
Just hearing that song out like that and for the first time, well, how was that feeling to you?
It was amazing, you know what I'm saying? It was just like no other feeling that I felt before in my life, because, you know, I never recorded, you know, a record, and I never released the record.
It was like your first vibes in the studio.
Not only that, but you know, it was hot too. You know, a lot of people was rocking with it. It was wavy, especially in Alaska, and it made it on the college radios, University of Anchorage, Alaska. You know, there was a little group out there. Yeah, they had a SoundCloud, and yeah, the song was getting played. It was hot. So you know, I really knew it. I just said, wow, like okay, I do got something, and my peoples was always telling me like, yo, you got to do it. So I got home in 2016 January. I just started, and I didn't ever stop.
And now we in 2020.
You know, January of 2020. See, 4 years.
Right.
January 2020. See, 4 years.
So you've been at it for 4 years now. What platforms have you been on?
I'm on all the platforms. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta be as an artist though nowadays. It's really important to make sure.
I wanted to ask you. Go ahead.
It's just important to make sure that you're on all the platforms because, you know, if you're about the culture and you're about your fans especially, you have to make sure that, you know, you're giving them the distribution that they're comfortable with. You don't know what everybody likes. Somebody might like YouTube, somebody might like Spotify, iTunes, you know, whatever that they use, SoundCloud. So, you know, put your music on all the platforms so that way people can listen to it.
I wanted to ask you, is it good to invest in yourself?
Absolutely.
Like in your brand, should I say?
Absolutely.
Is it good to invest in your brand?
Absolutely.
It gotta be the right way.
Absolutely. And we know that, speaking of investing, we want to go for ROI, return of income. You know what I mean?
Right.
You feel me? We want passive income. But we know that, you know, all good things come in time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
it's USA. I heard somebody say that. My bad. I heard somebody say that not long ago, and I was like, oh. It didn't take USA to get built in one day.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Word,
but that is the same.
13 colonies.
Right.
And then, before the Wild West, even think about Louisiana Purchase.
I think about
you feel me? The Louisiana Purchase was when they went even further.
That's a whole,
you know what I mean?
Yo, we can go on for hours about that.
It's real, just reality. I told you, it's authentic. It's authentic, so just reality.
Yeah, we can go on all day about that, man.
Right.
But you know, it's awesome though, you know, to know that, you know, you actually have been in a lot of platforms and stuff, you know, because it shows that you've been around. And your name talks it for itself, you know, Master Q. We're going to get to that, man. Now, I wanted to ask you, now, you do music for yourself or you do music like for your fans? You know, like, a lot of people do music for themselves, a lot of people do music for the fans, a lot of people do music just so people can understand where they're coming from. Like, what's your vibe when you give your music out to these people?
My vibe is I do music for both, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do music for just myself or just my fans either, you know. When I started with my music, like how I said, you know, I was going through rough times, so you know, it was a great outlet. I'm glad that you said that, you know. You know, so that's why I love doing music, and I'll always create music, and creating music is just great for me and myself, and that was what began me making music, because even before I was distributing music, I was always writing music as a child. But now that I do music at a professional level, and now that I'm distributing music out for fans, I do it for them. You know what I mean? It's for more than just me. You know, it's a sacrifice that I make from myself, right?
Yes.
To do it for them, you know?
That's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
To entertain, you know what I mean? To entertain the fans, you know what I'm saying? Give them what they want, you know what I mean? What they want to hear out of me, you know?
Right, now I know off camera we were talking about music project, and you was like you only did one project, right?
You talking about albums project?
Album?
No, I have.
On the Coast to Coast?
Oh, on Coast to Coast, yeah, I got one. I think there's 2 projects. It was EPs from when I won the second place winner at that Orlando showcase. That was 2016 and June 25th when I did that show.
Right.
Yeah, that was before.
Now,
so,
are you working on an album? Are you planning to do an album? Because I know you was off camera and you was like, no, I don't want to do albums. I'd rather do singles. Explain that. Like,
how my album culture and creativity as an artist has felt for me now, and what I've realized within myself is that, you know, I'm starting to just create material and more of a improvisation aspect. So I used to like literally make a whole album and, you know, make other tracks or put it together and then, you know, release it brand new, all brand new
like
tracks.
a date
but
for it.
you know, sometimes like I realized with my later projects, when I've released a single, a couple singles, and people vibe with it, and I put it on the album with new music, people like that. They like the culture, they like it. It's wavy. It's all about what you want to do and what you want to give the fans. But you know, an album definitely is coming, because you know it's the Master Q that is. You know what I mean?
Right.
An album definitely is coming. I can't. It's
do
natural
singles.
for me. Yeah, an album is natural for me. You know.
I know off camera we were talking about that. You know, it's good though. You know, because like I said, you know, you can keep on doing off camera. When you was talking about it, you can do singles all you want, but what happens to them singles? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still stack up. You still got them in file, even though you put them out. But with those songs that you put out, a couple singles, you can actually work on something.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter. Even if you are putting them out, if you are putting them singles out, them singles are still to a project that you might have just came up working on it. Be like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. You know, so I definitely, you know, I can understand your vibe. Definitely can. Now, would you prefer to get signed or be independent?
So I would say that, I mean, you know, success is when preparation meets opportunity, right? So success can come in many different aspects or ways. But on the real, you feel me? It just depends on the circumstances. You dig? So, you know, I love being independent. Why? The reason why I love being independent is because, you know, I'm in full control of all my material and how I want to release it, the way I want it done. But I do like the organization and, you know, the way that the label does it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, not only that, but the label is just, you know, that's the professional mass distribution, no matter what, you know, whether you're independent or on the label. You get on the label, you know, they're going to get all of the behind the scenes, everything that you need. That's really going to put you out there and fully enlighten you as an artist, you know. But it's just more the money aspect. So that's why I say it depends on the circumstances. Because if I'm under circumstances where I, you know, could do this on myself and, you know, the deal isn't worth it, you know what I'm saying? Then why would I sign it? You know what I mean? But if it's a circumstance where, you know, the deal is lucrative for me, you know what I'm saying, and it's profitable for me in my career, right? And for the future, then absolutely, you know, I would most certainly do that business. So yeah, it depends on the circumstance.
Now, I've been dying to ask you this question, like Master Q ain't just Master Q, right? There's something behind that name, right? I'm sure. I know we did not talk about it off camera. I'm bringing it to you now. But I want to know, like, where did you come up with Master Q from?
Or there's a lot of meanings behind that name. Right. But where it initially came from was because in 2015, like I said with my boys, you know, growing up and rapping, you know, you have a lot of different names, and it's funny as a kid, you know, like I was, you know, Lil Quan, and then, you know, I was Master Quan, you know what I'm saying? And then when I met my boy, though, you know, when I did the track with him, you feel me, I said, yo, what's up, bro? It's good, and we introduced ourselves, and I said, my name is Q, right? So he was like, yo, you know, that's what's up, you know what I mean? And when I said Master Quan, when we was talking about the track, he was like, yo, Master Q, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should cut the Quan, because back then, that was 2015, and you had Rich Homie Quan, you know, you had a couple different, right? And that,
Quan is your name.
Raquan.
Raquan is your real name.
That's
though.
Right. That is my.
So Quan is in your name.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So I was Master Quan, right? You know, in high school, you know, and on the real, Master Q is what my boy told me to go with. He said, yo, the Q is way more distinct and it's a lot easier. And, you know, he was talking to me about how people could find me. And he was absolutely right.
Short,
on all the platforms, it's short and, and he was absolutely right. And so that's that. But also, I'm also a Master Mason under the state of Florida. So, you feel me? That's you know Master Q, and also the last meaning of the Master Q in the name is.
We'll talk about that one day.
Because
Mason.
Okay, absolutely.
But go ahead.
But the last meaning with Master Q is that I'm a master of my craft, but especially master.
So to make the long story short,
right,
Master Q is a high-rise name.
Right.
For you, is not just something regular for you. I had to let the people know Master Q, because you know a lot of these artists name themselves all these kind of crazy names, and a lot of people want to know, like, where did he get his name from, you know? But I'm like that. I need to know so the world can know.
Absolutely.
You know. Now, I always say, let them know where they can find you at on the net, real quick.
No doubt. It's the Master Q, that is, and you can find me on every single platform today. My name is Masta space Q. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music, or whatever you choose. You know what I mean?
Hey,
just look me up.
Master Q, what motivation words do you have for like another artist? You know, what would be your inspirational words to like other artists that are watching this right now? What would you say to them?
On the real, be the most comfortable with who you are, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, God built us all with our own purpose, like every single purpose and every single person's destiny, you know what I'm saying? Was built by God, and I would say, find the best you know what I'm saying? And then when you find the best you, then you use God to help you, enlighten and travel through that path, right? You know what I'm saying? To evolve to the best you that you could be, you know? Don't feel, because music is energy, right? Music is just sounds, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't feel like, oh, what I'm making is not, any song, no matter what the song is, no matter what the lyrics are, no matter what it sounds like, the quality, right? There will be thousands and millions and billions of people in the world that will like it, and then there'll be the same amount of people that won't like it. But every artist still has to find who they are and push who they are. So, embrace the best of who you are. Find your own unique creativity. Yeah, and then
good answer.
Push that.
Definitely.
Push that. Evolve.
Now, it would be a dumb question if I was to ask you, have you done the shows before, right, Master Q? You know what I'm saying? It would be dumb,
exactly,
right?
Exactly,
okay, so we're gonna change that.
Right, exactly.
Explain to the people, like, that you have performed. You have done shows. You want to name a couple of the states. Maybe names, whatever. Whatever comes to your mind. But I know you have performed before.
On the real.
You want to let the people know?
Performances are amazing. Definitely. I started off actually.
How many shows have you done first and foremost?
29. 29.
Well, you done over like 20 25 shows.
Okay. It's just hard to keep count with them, man.
Okay, yeah.
So long story short, what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Short.
You've performed, okay? You've done shows.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is the feeling, because I'm sure there's a lot of artists that are new to this, some artists just come in maybe like a couple months or a year and they get stage fright and stuff like that, what would you tell them?
Right.
Because you performed. We're not gonna get into you performed. Tell them Tell them a few places and stuff like that. Like you performed.
From Orlando to Tampa to Miami to Atlanta, all kind of gigs everywhere. But long story short, I need everybody to know, performing is one of my favorite things to do, because that's where, no matter who you are as an artist, you really get to enlighten your music, and you really get to show exactly your music and what you want for what it is. That's not the video edits, right? That's not the song and the mix and master. No, that is the live performance of your song, your record, your album, whatever you're performing, you know?
Go out there and do it like you own it.
Right, and yeah, and you gotta like really show that presence. That's the artist, the performance. Literally.
Yes.
Like that is the artist. Like think about, right, who is Shakespeare? Who is Mozart? Let's really go to music, right? They performed in cathedrals and stuff, but you know what I'm saying, in those coliseums and things, you know, they had different kind of music. It was, you know, composure, you know what I mean? It was a bunch of instruments and all of this, symphonies, you know? But it's still a performance. That's what
Right,
it's
it's
all
still performance, right?
That's what they got famous for, right? It was a performance.
Yeah.
So yes, the performance is in all. And that's why me, I'm an animal.
Push
When I step on that stage, I'm
you gotta push it. When you get on there, it's a whole different vibe.
On the real, I don't believe in wasted film. Shooting videos, wasted film. Hey, that's a performance. When you on the mic and you recording, think of it like a performance, because you want to have that same vibe. You want to keep the same energy, the same vibrations going and going and going.
I definitely needed you to touch on that. Definitely did, man. But I think this question will probably finish it off for us.
Word up, word up.
Word. It was a blessing to meet you. Definitely. You know, it was by the grace of God.
Thank you.
Allah. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got, you know, in terms. But I definitely want to thank you for actually taking the time away from what you had to do for today to come and do this interview. Is an honor. Okay, so MusicIAmTv wants to thank you very much.
On the real.
You understand? And the love is real. We here. Now this question, I want to know, out of all the questions I asked you, how you feel about the evolution and growth of yourself? Break it down.
As an artist, it's so amazing because, you see, I remember literally dreaming about this, and anything that you dream and that you believe you can achieve, is if you ask God, then you shall receive. Straight up. That's just facts right there. You know what I mean? And I really seen it. I seen it in vivid depiction and you know, imagery, you know, and I seen myself, and I continue to see even more for myself. But the evolution from where I started, yo, I thank God, yo, because God is the only one that is to thank for this, on the real, you know, straight up. You know, it's been a long, I mean, 4 years, you know, I know there's a lot of artists that's been doing it, and I still want to continue to do it and have even more, but 4 years, you know, for me, that was some time for me, and I just want to continue to evolve and have even more time and continue to grow. But I feel great about my evolution. I feel great. I feel wonderful. You know, God is great.
That's good to know. You know, I'm sure this won't be the only interview we will be doing. I'm sure we will be working on some more visual, you know, interviews. I definitely want to ask you if you got any shout outs, you know, that you want to
no doubt, no doubt. 100. You know what I'm saying? It's the Master Q that is. And I want to first and foremost shout out to New York, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Deltona, you know what I'm saying? You already know the vibes. Also shout out to 1016, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and peep the line, 1016, you feel me? All custom gear, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to MusicIAmTv. Yo, it was much a blessing to be able to meet you today and do this interview, and you know the vibes was just nothing but positive, man. And that's
more than welcome.
That is all that I ever, you know, search for in life. Positivity, man. You know what I mean? I'm real, because I don't have any, you know, time for anything else.
All MusicIAmTv asks for is realness. That's it.
Real,
but
son,
brother,
it's authentic, B.
Yeah, man.
That's some real shit.
I really appreciate you coming through. You know, it's a blessing once again.
Facts.
Okay, you know, is there anything else you want to let them know before we get up out of here?
No doubt, no doubt. It's the Master Master Q, that is. And
Yeah.
you're used to that tag,
Again.
even though you're
Right.
already used to that tag,
Get it
because that
used
tag
to
is
it.
never gonna stop.
Ain't been
It's gonna
everywhere.
continue
Look,
to keep on coming.
tell them, Google the name.
Google the name. Verified on Google. Masta space Q. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Any social media website that you use, you look up Master Q. You feel me? Shouts out to MusicIAmTv, yo, on the real. Nothing but authenticity. It's the Master Q, that is, out here rocking the line 1016, you dig? Super clean and super fly. Move at your own pace. You already know the vibes.